Good morning, Year 3, and welcome to Tuesday's math lesson. I'm going to go straight in and show you your learning objectives today because I'm going to be swapping in between the screens again so that you can see my place value board behind me. So today you can see that our learning objective is to multiply two-digit numbers by 10 using place value. Now, I suspect some of you are already thinking, oh, I know a hack that I can use for this. I know something really easy. But this is really important, okay? If you can use the hack, okay, but you can't tell me why you are doing what you're doing, then the hack's no good, okay? You need to be able to understand place value for our lesson today to understand what we do when we multiply a two-digit number by 10. Because you need to know your multiplication factors. You need to know the value of each digit in a two-digit number. And that means you understand place value. If you're thinking about the hack that you know, that's not going to help you if you can't talk about your answer. Okay? So have a go at completing this sentence, Year 3. When you multiply a number by 10, it gets times bigger. How much greater is that number when you times it by 10? Hopefully you're all shouting back, 10, Mrs. Pleasure. But if we put that on a place value chart, what happens to the digits? Which way do they move? Do they move to the right or do they move to the left? Have a think and then we are going to prove it on our place value. So what do you think? Do you think it moves to the left or do you think it moves to the right? Well, let's have a think. Okay, I've got a number here. Okay, what is my number worth? It is worth 16. Okay, I have got 6 ones. And I've got 1 10. Okay, I am going to multiply that by 10. Okay, I want each of these ones to now become worth 10. Okay, so instead of having 6 ones, how many 10s do I have? I have 6 10s. But what's my problem now? I can't put 6 10s in a ones column. Where do I need to put those 6 10s? I need to put them in my 10s column because I now have 6 10s. How many ones do I have now? I have no ones left, do I? Because all of my ones have now become 10s. But I still need to put something here. What do I need to put here? I need to put my 0, don't I? So I have 1 10, okay? And I've got to multiply that by 10. I've got to make it 10 times greater. Okay, so what do we know that 1 10 times 10 is? We know that that's 100. I can't put 100 in my 10s column though, can I? We know that from our column addition. So where do I need to put that 100? I need to put it in the hundreds column. So my 16 times 10 is 160. Okay, which way did they all move on the place value chart? All of those digits moved one place to the left. Okay, they've all gone that way. And that's really important today. We need to know that we are making things 10 times greater. Let's go back to the screen. So we all know that 4 times 10 is 40, don't we? 4 times 10, 10, 20, 30, 40. Okay, we know that. So how can we use that knowledge to calculate 40 times 10? Well, straight away, we know that we are making it how many times bigger? We are making that number 10 times greater. So if we've got it on our place value, we've got 40. And we are making that 10 times greater. Okay, so first of all, 0 times 10 is 0, isn't it? So we can still put something in our ones column. Okay, we haven't got any ones. We have got 4 tens though, haven't we? Each of these is now going to be multiplied by 10. So now, okay, if 1 10 times 10 is 100, 4 lots is going to be 400. Okay, we now have 400s, but we can't put that in the tens column, can we? Where do we put 400? We put it in the hundreds column. Is that it? We finished? We haven't, have we? What do we need to finish our answer off with? We need to put 0 in here. Because if we don't, that 4 will keep on trying to come back, won't it? So we need to put a placeholder in so that the 4 doesn't go back into the tens column. So we now know that 40 times 10 is 400. It is 10 times greater than 40. Let's have a look at our next one. So here, if I was going to show you on place value, with our place value counters, okay, we've still got nothing in the zeros, in the ones rather. We've got a 0 in the ones, okay. Each one of these is going to be multiplied by 10, okay. Each one of these is 10 times bigger. So that means that each one of those becomes 100, okay. Each one of those has been multiplied by 10. And we know that 10 times 10 is 100. So they all move into our hundreds column. I've got nothing in my tens anymore, and I've got nothing in my ones column. But if we're writing these with digits, they both need to have zeros, don't they? What about this? 70 times 10. Have a think about this one, okay? We're going to make this 10 times greater. Have a think, how would we do that? Let's write that on our place value. Okay, I told you there'd be lots of chopping and changing today, didn't I? I told you there'd be lots of chopping and changing, which isn't great for you watching, but. Okay, we are making this 10 times greater. What is 10 multiplied by 0? It's 0, isn't it? Okay, I've got 7 tens. I've got 7 lots of 10. Okay, and each one of those is going to be multiplied by 10. So my 70, each one of these now becomes 100 because I've multiplied each one of those by 10. In slightly dodgy squares. Each one of those has been multiplied by 10. Okay, but I can't put 7 100s into the tens column, can I? So which column does it need to go into? It goes into the hundreds column. Haven't finished there though, have I? What do I need to add to my tens column? I need to add a placeholder. So 70 times 10 is 700. If we look at that on the place value chart with our counters, okay, this is what we are doing, okay? We have 7 counters and they're each worth 10. And we're having 10 lots of those. So if we were doing arrays, that is what they would look like. 70, got 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, and we've got 10 groups. And they all go into our hundreds column. Remember, we would have a 0 here and a 0 here. Let's have a go at one more. or 2 more, I think maybe. Okay, we are going to do 23 times 10. Have a look at that one. I'm sure you're getting the hang of this now. 23 times 10. Okay, which column do we start with? Should we start with the hundreds this time? No, can't start in any other column apart from the ones column. So 3 times 10 is what? 10, 20, 30. We now have 30. We can't put it in the ones column, can we? We need to put that in the tens column. Okay, let's go on to our tens column. We've got 20. And we're timesing each of those tens by 10. We're multiplying them, making them bigger 10 times. So we've now got 2 100s. Where do I put my 2 100s? Into my hundreds column. Okay, excellent, well done. What do you mean I haven't finished? What haven't I done? I've made my 3 10 times bigger, and I've made my 20 10 times bigger. Sorted. Does that make more sense now? Did you see, because I hadn't put my placeholder in, I had to put that 0 to show that I had no ones, okay? That changed the value of that number. That number would have still been 23 if I hadn't put that placeholder in. So 23 multiplied by 10 is 230. And I'm sure you're starting to see a pattern. I'm sure you're starting to see what a hat might be, okay? But we need to know why we are doing these things. And there we are, okay? We've got 2 100s and we've got 3 10s. We've got no zeros. We've got no ones rather. So we would put a 0 here, okay? And it would become 230. Okay, have a go on your own year 3. This is your practice it. Okay, and the sentence says, if I know that 3 times 10 equals then I know that 30 times 10 equals Pause your video and have a go. Okay, use something to prove your answer. It might be a raise or it might be your place value chart, but use something to prove your answer. Pause your video and then come back to me in a minute. Okay, so hopefully you've worked out that 3 times 10 is 10, 20. Okay, and if you're making that 10 times bigger, 0 times 0, 0 times 10 is still 0. 3 lots of 10 times 10, okay, 30 times 10 is 300, and put my placeholder. So if I know that 3 times 10 is 30, I know that 30 times 100, 30 times 10 is 300. If you were doing that in a raise, four, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. For 3 times 10, they would all be worth 1. So they would be 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, and they would carry on. Okay, but then if I wanted to do 30 times 10, these would all have a value of 10, wouldn't they? So then it would become 30 plus 60, 30, 60, 90, 120. So it's changing the value of that counter. It goes from 1 to 10. It makes it 10 times bigger. Okay, let's go back to the do it. Okay, here are your do it's. All right. I would really like to see some place value knowledge going on here. If we were in class and you came and gave me really quickly, you gave me the answers, I would want you to explain them to me. Okay, I would want you to prove the answers to me. So I want to see some proof. I want to see some place value charts. Maybe you've got you're looking at kind of whiteboards, okay? Or maybe you just do it on your piece of paper showing that things are getting 10 times bigger. But I want some proof on your do-its that you know how to make things 10 times bigger, that you understand. Pause your video here and off you go to do your do-it. So have you, bunch of clever clogs, spotted my error on the do-its? I'm sure you have, because you've all have done the do-its. Yes, I had 2 of the same question there. So well done for those of you who spotted it. I didn't, so more attention to detail, Mrs. Pledger. So hopefully you have now got something that looks like this, okay? Everything is moving 10 times greater. I wonder how you did this last question. You were given the answer, okay? And what we are doing is we are looking for the inverse. We are looking for the opposite for this one. So it was just a little bit of a question to see if you could work out how you would do that, okay? And what is the opposite of multiplication? Well, the opposite of multiplication is division. So if we multiply and make 10 times bigger, then when we are dividing, we make everything 10 times smaller, okay? So your answer would have been 14 times 10. So well done to those of you who've got it. There are 2 questions on here. Coco thinks that 54 times 10 is 504. Is she correct? Explain why you think she is incorrect. Okay, you need to be able to put that knowledge into your writing. So make sure I know this because, okay, she is incorrect because. And then you have a deepen it where you can find the missing digits. Now, some questions may have more than one answer. So you need to be able to show your different calculations. As ever, if you don't quite get onto the deepen it, then that's absolutely fine. We want to be able to see what you can do. And we normally have an hour in math in class, okay? We don't want you to be sat at the dining room table for 3-4 hours trying to do your secure it and your deepen it. So I hope you've enjoyed that lesson. You've got your secure it and your deepen it if you're going to have a go at that. You've got the answers to your do it, and we will do more multiplication tomorrow. Thanks, Year 3.